Cool, everybody ready? Good afternoon, everyone. We're the Stellenbosch #Marty's brewing team. We've come all the way from down south, so thank you very much for having us in the picturesque city of Bloemfontein. For a lot of us, it's actually our first time up here, and we're pleasantly surprised. Bloemfontein is really surprising us with the vibe, the happiness, and yeah, we're having a great time up here so far. So thank you very much for having us, and without further ado, this is the team. On my right, we have Hamish, Deerwald, our favorite biochemist, transplant. He came from the Northwest University, so sorry we stole him from you, but he's firmly ours now. We have Tareen. She's a first-year food science student, and she's playing first-year master's food science student, sorry. And she's playing around with salmonella in her free time and brewing 24/7. We have Mia, who's our favorite foreign national, and she brings nice German, Namibian flair to the brewing team. And finally, we have Hamish rocking his trusty cap and bringing a more agricultural, livestock, and animal science influence, making our beers a little bit wilder than last time. Unfortunately, people that couldn't join us here in Bloemfontein is Anishka. She's busy working pretty hard down south, and also we had to just mention our two whip crackers, if you will, Dr. Timmer Tate and Dr. Stefan Hayward, for guiding us through a few challenges this year, and for making sure we didn't leave the brewery in an absolute pigsty. In terms of what we have at our disposal to make these beers, we have the state-of-the-art, highly complex valve-based brewing system. I've been brewing for about 1.5 years with the team, and I still don't know how to use half the valves, so it's always becomes a phone-a-friend situation. If there's no friend to phone, beers sometimes get burnt, but everybody else here is a little bit more competent than me, which is great. And when ESCOM gets in the way, we have our Grainfather G30 Connect, #mobile app, #tech revolution. And the great thing about the Grainfather is, for us who aren't very technically inclined, it simplifies the brewing process, takes the stress out of trying to work out which knob or valve to turn, how to turn the pump back on to make sure you don't pull a vacuum and break it for the 5th time in a year, not me. And we'll basically just make brewing a little bit more accessible to the rest of us. And we have a very trusty array of 50-liter fermenters, which sometimes do backfire, as you'll see in in the following slides. So our first beer that we entered, we're calling it A Little Taste of Africa. So as you can see on the screen, it's based on a British brown ale. It has a dark brown color and an amber hue. Not amber heard, amber hue. Giving rise to, which we liken to an African wild ale. It's got a nice complex palate, as you can see on the screens. And interestingly enough, Hamish was able to source some very fine honey. Hamish is an avid mead brewer and distiller. So he was able to get us some very fine Western Cape honey that we included in this beer. None of this adulterated stuff that you can buy at the supermarket. This is real honey from his farm. We've got a certificate of analysis if you want to see it. So yeah, we're very excited about this beer, and we gave a few tasters around, and yeah, people were pleasantly surprised. So I'm sure everyone will have a chance to try it and enjoy it. Moving on, we have a nice, refreshing Summer Sun, or Somerson beer, because we are in Stellenbosch after all. Summer Sun, it's a nice summer light beer. It's refreshing, it's well-bodied, based on an American light lager with a low alcohol percentage, and we're able to attain that through high mashing temperatures by mashing at around 75 degrees, and we used Windsor yeast from Lallemand just to help with attenuation and just keep the alcohol content nice and low. And we've added some Mia added some lemon peel and hibiscus petals to really give this beer a nice lacquer kick, taste-wise and alcohol-wise. Moving on, we have what we're calling the Biertjie, which is a carbonated international pale lager with a good grain character. You can clearly tell I wrote this. And it's, has some very interesting hops, and I'm sure you all are going to enjoy it. Moving on, we have our sour beer, our forgotten Chimera. Am I right, Deerwald? Yes. It's a nice sour beer, not too sour, but good all-round flavors. Yes, this is right. Yes, this is right, yes, good. And interestingly enough, what we did was, it wasn't just one beer that we used for this, we actually used two. We used a Belgian triple that we brewed last year that we aged in a port vat for wine cask for 1 year, 8 months. We then took the Belgian triple out and added a fruit lambic from about beginning of the year into there, aged it for about 6 months, blended the two beers together to form a nice well-balanced, sour beer that I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy. Yes, this was right. Cool, carried that. And then finally, we have our IPA, which was put together, wouldn't call it last minute, but it was a bit of a damage control beer. ESCOM got in the way, some pesky undergrads got in the way, almost broke half the brewery, almost burnt our beer without telling us because they switched the pump off. So yeah, we had to quickly do some damage control, and this gave rise to Magnum Opus, which is our good American IPA, and I'm sure it's going to leave you all pleasantly surprised. As I mentioned earlier, what's brewing without its challenges, without its opportunities to learn and grow and develop as a team, as a squad, #BrewSquad. We had quite a few this year. Without mentioning the E word in case they hear us and turn the power off again, ESCOM really did throw a spanner in the works in terms of our brewing schedules and what we wanted to do. Deerbolt became accustomed with some very foreign machinery. Apparently they don't have these floor scrubbers in the Northwest, but Stellenbosch we do. And he had a bit of fun cleaning the brewery just before we left. And yes, we also had a bit of fun with Postnet, and we got to try some very interesting beers throughout this year at many of the Fools and Fans brewing competition. You can see me there enjoying a very nice, I think it was a licorice flavored beer in the end, which took me by surprise, especially at the end of the day. So yeah, unfortunately, with some negativity, there always are some fantastic benefits and pluses and pros. So we had, like I said, some fantastic experiences. We got to try some incredible beers this year with a great team that really gelled. The vibe was fantastic. We got to go camping in Greyton, which is a small town just outside of Cape Town, for the Fools and Fans Spring competition, so we could really actually enjoy and sample the best of Western Cape craft beer. We also learned fantastic skills like teamwork. We learned how to manage resources, keep control of stocks, and also for a few of the other team members, also how to grow yeast for the very first time. So yeah, I thought it would just be important to acknowledge a few people, such as the Stellenbosch University's Department of Food Science, which is where our brewery is based, and also our Brewing Society, #BrewSquad again, the Stellenbosch University Alumni Office for providing us with this fantastic swag. We're not as cool as Tux, but we thought we'd try and give you a run for your money. And next year. And yeah, to all the parties and everyone involved with the InterVarsity Brew-Off for this year. And Poch for just becoming such great friends the last 4 hours. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.